From Universal Studios, Hollywood, the Samuel Goldwyn Company presents American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 20 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champions. Now, here are your American Gladiators: Gemini, Lace, Nitro, Gold, Laser, Blaze, Thunder, Ice, Turbo, and Diamond. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamley, and his co-host, Larry Zonka.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamley. Glad you could join us for this edition of the American Gladiators. For the next hour, you're going to witness what we think is some very compelling competition between our contenders who come from all walks of life and our American Gladiators who are bigger and better than ever. Now, my co-host is no stranger to fierce competition. He's Hall of Fame fullback from the Miami Dolphins, Mr. Larry Zonka. Larry, I alluded to the caliber of the competition. The contenders, they're very athletically gifted. They come from all walks of life, as I've mentioned. But we are going to see some very close matches.
Absolutely. The interesting thing, as far as I'm concerned, is how some of the competitors that don't seem to have a great athletic background are going to do against some that obviously do. If that fine edge of competition is going to be right down to the wire or not.
And for some of these contenders, this is their very first time under the bright lights of television. And with that in mind, let's meet the contenders for this preliminary round.
In our women's preliminary, please welcome Deena Telley of Norman, Oklahoma, a microbiologist and former collegiate rugby standout. And her opponent, Mary Stickleman of Chandler, Arizona, a water aerobics instructor. In the men's competition, here's Greg Montgomery of San Dimas, California, a member of the Los Angeles Police Department. And his opponent, Altshuler of Marlton, New Jersey, president of an office automation company.
Mary, among other things, you're a Sunday school teacher, and this is your chance to employ the golden rule. Do unto the gladiators as they would do unto you.
Yes, I hope so. I'm planning on being a little tough out there for him.
Okay. Michael, you are the president of your own company that makes copiers and fax machines. What's a businessman like yourself doing in a competition like this?
Well, Mike, it could be a little too much toner dust in the brain, but every once in a while we like to shed our suits and ties and get out for some real physical contact.
Larry, I know the guys with the ties are tough.
Dean, I understand you have your degree in microbiology?
That's right.
And at the same time, you participated with a rugby team at the University of Oklahoma, is that correct?
Yes,
Well, let me ask you something. Are you going to try to outsmart our gladiators, or are you just going to try to knock them over?
Well, I think they probably don't care too much about microbiology, so we'll just work on the finer points of rugby.
There, you'll get a chance at that. Greg, I understand you're with the Los Angeles Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Well, our first event today is assault. Do you feel like you've had a little experience in that?
Yeah, I've chased a few in my time. Today, it looks like I'm going to be chased today.
Good luck to both of you. Mike?
Contenders, best of luck. Gladiators, these contenders are sounding mighty cocky, mighty cocky. Let the games begin. Best of luck. This is how our competition works on the American Gladiators. Our contenders, 2 men and 2 women, as you know by now, will compete in 7 very different events against our American Gladiators. Now, the contenders who amass the most points in those 7 rigorous confrontations automatically advance to the next round and move 1 step closer towards our championship final. And at stake, over $150,000 in cash and prizes. We are now ready for our first event. It's the men's assault. And here's Zonk with an explanation.
In assault, contenders have 60 seconds to hit a target placed above our gladiator using a variety of weapons.
And doing the honors for the Gladiators is Gemini, and he has laid down the challenge to the first contender, Greg Montgomery. They got something going here.
Marching to town, son. Going down.
But Gemini, he won't go down easy. Greg, an officer with the LAPD, is ready to apply his police training in the competition here.
When you're in the academy, one of the things that they teach you first is never to quit. And certainly when you're on that threshold of pain and you think that you can't go any further, and you have to go further because your life could depend upon it or your partner's life could depend upon it, you learn an amount of mental toughness.
And bantering between Gemini and Greg Montgomery, a little like Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed. Greg trying not to be on the receiving end of one of those tennis balls which really move fast.
Greg close but no cigar as he moves to his second safe zone. Trick with a rocket launcher is to keep that safety device between you and the balls that Gemini's firing. Greg a little high and wide with that shot.
You would think this would be the one event in which Greg Montgomery would excel, given his police training. Sets himself with the cannon.
He is right under the gun now, almost point-blank range. And suffers the hit at the hands of Gemini. Gemini called it. He said, "You're going down." And go down he did right here. It looks as though Greg knows the ball's coming. He tries to flinch, duck away, but he's going in a little too upright. Perhaps he should have slid in like home base.
Well, one contender down for Gemini, and now he sets his sights on Greg's opponent, Michael Altshuler, president of his own automation company. Gemini aiming to go 2 for 2, and Michael trying to survive and score. In addition to his athletic laurels, he was once named Atlantic City Entrepreneur of the Year. But it's Gemini who means business here. Dodged that one, and another.
Moving like a cat out there, just not quick enough.
Yeah, these guys are good shots. I expected to get a little further in this event, but yeah, you got me.
That's tough when you get that headshot. Are you all right? You seeing the right number of fingers?
Yeah, I'm seeing the right number of fingers. I'm all right.
Good job.
And in assault, he who hesitates is hit. Gemini holds the men scoreless in their first event, but there's plenty of action left in the American Gladiators, including the Joust, Atlasphere. But women's assault is next. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where two of our women's contenders are set to begin their preliminary competition. And like the men, they'll open with assault. Doing the honors for the Gladiators, Blaze.
Deena Telley's up first, a microbiologist who has played some rugby in college and represented the United States on some select teams.
An assault unlike anything Deena's ever done before. Is she shooting left-handed there, Larry? I don't think we've seen that technique before.
I don't think our Gladiator has either. Blaze was looking, wondering where she was.
Deena a little awkward with the rocket launcher. But boy, is she accurate. As she nails the red portion of that target, that's worth 7 points.
Deena, great job. Where in the world did you learn to shoot a bazooka like that?
Well, I'm from Oklahoma, and we're all a bunch of country girls down there, and you just got to shoot. You know, we got Texans just south, so yeah, we all learned to shoot.
You sure were trying to shoot Blaze up there.
It's my left hand. I got her. Yeah.
You know, whatever's got you going, it's got you going very well. Good luck the rest of the day.
Thanks, I'm going.
All right, Deena Telley. Well, now Blaze will try to take some measure of revenge on Mary Stickleman, a mother of 2 boys who turned mom onto the show and helped her practice as well. Mary, an aerobics instructor, makes her home in Chandler, Arizona.
Ready?
That shot missed.
Mary a little reckless, going from safe zone to safe zone. Doesn't respect the speed of those tennis balls much. Trying to take Blaze out with a rocket launcher.
You can see her athletic talent as she does move from safe zone to safe zone, very quick. But just as she gets that shot off, Blaze nails her.
Deena takes the early lead in our women's preliminary. And here's a look at what happened to Mary. She's watching her shot at the target, while Blaze's shot catches Mary right in the side of the head. The men are scoreless after their first event as they now move on to our 30-second battle of pugil sticks, the Joust.
Mike Altshuler is up first. He'll face Nitro, and earlier he told us his thoughts about taking on the Gladiators.
People that are twice your size and that are going to be out there to kick some butt, you typically fear a little, so I think a little fear is healthy, and I have that little fear, so I think I'm pretty healthy going into this.
Fear and respect for Nitro as they get set to do battle. On guard! And in this case, for Michael Altshuler, fear strikes out. Not much of a contest against Nitro.
Nitro comes out swinging and pace Michael. You'll see him come out with that hard right to the jaw. Michael says, oops, I'm a little too close. I'm going to step back. And he steps into eternity.
Nitro makes sure he stays there. Well, Greg Montgomery is up next, our officer from the Los Angeles Police Department. No doubt he has excelled in hand-to-hand combat and police training. But taking a couple of quick shots from Nitro. Boy, that shot packed a wallop. And down goes Greg.
Nitro celebrating his victory. You've got to wonder whether or not Greg's ears are ringing a little bit as you see Nitro swinging hard to Greg's jaw. You have to wonder if he realizes he's kind of mugging an LA policeman here, Mike.
Well, Larry, I'm sure it's crossed Nitro's mind, but here in the arena of American Gladiators, anything goes, and this is one time where Nitro won't get a citation.
The men remain scoreless after 2 events, but now Deena holds the early advantage in the women's preliminary as the girls prepare to go into the Joust. They'll take on ice. We mentioned a little earlier that Mary has 2 sons, and she told us that she's competing here to represent all moms.
I think that being a mom is a very tough job. There's nothing harder than chasing after the kids all day. And I think that you can come home after a hard day at work and you can go out there and you can compete. I think, I'm going to win one for the moms.
Mary, also a Sunday school teacher, now it's her chance to apply the golden rule. Do unto ice as she would do unto you, Mary.
Mary, a little too anxious there, steps across. She did a good job absorbing Ice's blows early, but when she went on the attack, she stepped across. Takes a great hit from Ice right on the side of the head, gets knocked away from her stick, regains her composure, goes on the attack, but gets a little too aggressive.
So now Deena Telley will try to do what Mary Stickleman could not, and that's defeat Ice. But Ice is all business on that platform. Mighty strong, mighty tough, and there is fire in them there eyes.
Ice immediately going on the attack. Deena makes a wise decision and says, I can't get anywhere. I'm going to bail out here.
Larry, the secret in this event is be the attacker, not the attackee. Unfortunately for Deena, she was on the receiving end of all those shots.
Good job by Ice, Mike, as she shuts out the women in the Joust and keeps their score at 7-0 after 2 events. Still to come on American Gladiators. Hang tough. Powerball. But up next, it's Atlasphere.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for our next event of this preliminary round, Atlasphere. And Atlasphere is brought to you by M&M's Chocolate Candies. Smile, have some M&M's.
And Mike, the men are scoreless after 2 events, Jim and I having shut out the men in assault, while Nitro held them scoreless in the Joust. Greg and Michael hope to get on the scoreboard in Atlasphere.
Mike Altshuler getting loaded inside of his Atlasphere. I think Thunder and Turbo, if they have their way, they'll keep these guys scoreless for at least another event. And boy, do they fill up those Atlaspheres. Turbo and Thunder, big, big men, and they really get those things moving.
Turbo and Thunder immediately moving to center court to take on the Contenders.
That was a big-time bang Turbo applied to Mike Altshuler. Keeps him out of the scoring pod. Thunder checking Greg Montgomery.
You've been checked by Thunder, you know you've been checked.
And Larry, the frustrating thing about this event for the Contenders is that you work like heck to get the thing on a roll, and then all of a sudden the Gladiator comes along and says, bang, zoom, you're out of that scoring pod.
Well, you're right, Mike. So many times they get it right on the edge of the pod or in the vicinity of the pod, and then the Gladiator puts the final kibosh on them like we're watching right here.
Major league traffic jam there. Now Greg's got it going. Can he settle it down? Nope.
What, Mike, Turbo and Thunder doing a great job of bending some metal in this event.
Time running out, and that's it. And guess what? The Gladiators have done it again. Another shutout. And Greg Montgomery muttering to himself, all that work and nothing to show for it.
Which means a great job by Turbo and Thunder. Here we see Michael in a breakaway. Turbo hot on his tracks. Michael almost landing in the pod and Turbo knocking him out. Then Greg making his move, but getting the same kind of treatment from Thunder.
So the men remain scoreless after 3 events, and in the women's competition, Deena with the slight edge. They're loading in now for their match in Atlasphere.
Deena Telley loading into her pod. She sort of disappears when she climbs in there, Mike.
Ready, blue. Gladiators ready. Spotters ready.
Doing the honors for the Gladiators, gold and lace. And the match is underway. 60 seconds to score as many goals as you can. Deena Telley gets it moving, and she scores first. Here comes Mary now in a breakaway.
Stops her at Atlasphere a little too soon and can't get into the pod.
Deena has the same thing going at the other end, and she suffers the same fate. Here's Mary working hard. She's got a goal.
Deena approaching a scoring pod, gets knocked out again by goal. That's twice in a row now. As she heads for her 3rd scoring pod. Will she be able to settle? Gold says no and denies Deena the chance to score.
Mary has been relentless as well, and she scores too. I wonder what her 2 sons, Justin and Jordan, think about her now. Nice going, Mom. Deena with one last tally to round out the scoring. 2-2, the final.
Mary having a little trouble early on as we watch her approach the scoring pod here, but throws the brakes on a little too soon. On the other hand, Deena having similar problems with gold, but she still manages to tie our score at 2 each. So our women's scorer now puts Deena in front after 3 events. While the men hope to put some points on the board with their next event, Hang Tough.
And Larry, in this event, the object for the Contenders is to swing towards the Gladiators platform. If you make it that far, that's worth 10 points. You can also earn a draw by hanging tough for the entire 60 seconds without being pulled down. That's worth 5 points. Greg Montgomery is up first, and he'll be going against Laser.
Ready.
Laser with that powerful upper body should be a natural here. Both men initially swinging with the greatest of ease.
Greg keeping one eye on Laser. He's trying to kind of go around him, but his momentum's carrying him awful close to Laser.
Now Laser's got a hold of him. This is going to be a real gut check for Greg Montgomery. How long can he hang on? Laser's got him by the mouth. Wrapping him across the arm. Some of those moves not too kosher, Larry.
There's the whistle. Larry Thompson's intervened in this thing. Let's hear what his decision is.
Personal foul at this set of rings here where the Gladiator, in an attempt to pull the Contender down, struck him above the head, and so therefore I'm disqualifying Laser and awarding a full 10 points to Greg as if he would have reached the other platform. There was plenty of time left, 30 seconds.
The rules state that a gladiator may not go to the head of a contender to pull him from the rings. Here we see Laser trying to pull Greg off, then he slowly works his way right up Greg's body, seizes him by the face, nearly pulls his lip off, then proceeds to pound him on the arms and about the head, plainly pulling at the head of Greg Montgomery.
So Greg awarded 10 points, but a very painful 10 points. And Mike Altshuler's up now. Earlier he told us about fear being a motivational tool. I'm sure he took note of what Laser did to Greg Montgomery there. If that's the case, he should fly across these rings.
I'm sure he's going to be doubly conscious of trying to avoid Laser midfield.
Mike losing some of his swing momentum. Desperately searching for another ring to grab. Referee Larry Thompson warning him that you got to make a move towards that platform. I don't think Mike can help himself at this point.
And he's weakening in the upper body. That's where Laser's got the edge, if Laser can get over to him. Laser's close. He's in for the kill. It's spider and fly time.
14 seconds left in the match. Laser ends Altshuler's day. 10 points for Greg Montgomery and Hang Tough, and after 4 events, it's 10-0 Montgomery over Altshuler. Still to come on the American Gladiators is Powerball and the Wall, but up next, it's women's Hang Tough. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where Deena leads Mary in their preliminary round as they prepare for Hang Tough. And our leader, Deena Telley, is ready to swing, and she'll be challenged here by Diamond.
Deena being a little petite, having trouble reaching up for the ring. Diamond having no trouble at all.
Larry, she may be petite, but Deena practiced for this American Gladiator competition by working out with the strength coach for the University of Oklahoma football team.
Well, she's got good upper body strength, but she doesn't have a very long reach.
Larry, the object here is to make it to the Contenders platform without being pulled off, but now Diamond's got a hold of Deena's singlet. She's got those legs wrapped around her, and time to hang tough for Deena Telley. Diamond works her over, and too much body weight and strength and gravity working against Deena Telley, and down she goes.
Deena with nice fluid motion going right down the middle early on in the competition, almost by Diamond, but Diamond reverses her swing at the last second, catches on to Deena, wraps those legs around, gets a hold of her upper body here, and goes to work.
And after watching that technique, I guess we can call her Legs Diamond. So up now, Mary Stickleman. She'll try to do her best to get by Diamond. Mary, who makes her home in Chandler, Arizona.
Another petite contender. Mary needing the help of a little box there to get up on the rings and get a hold.
Swinging back and forth, looking for the next ring. She's got a hold of it. But Diamond standing in her way, or swinging in her way, I should say.
Look how relaxed Diamond is on the ring. She's very fluid. Oh, a near miss. Diamond very close to taking Mary on. Mary getting her legs up, bumping Diamond away.
Larry, I'd be interested to know what Diamond's inseam is. Those legs are so long, she can grab you from about 3 sets of rings away.
Mary toying with disaster here. She's so close to Diamond. Stuck on one ring.
Trying to hang on for the draw, and she does. 5 points for Mary Stickleman.
Mary, a tough competitor. She's in the jaws of death here. Manages to get her knees up and bump away from Diamond. Managing to hold on and take the points right at the whistle. So
with her victory in hang tough, Mary closes in on the lead of Deena after 4 events. Now, Greg Montgomery leads Michael Altshuler as they take to the floor to challenge Nitro, Turbo, and Thunder in our 45-second contest of speed and agility we call Powerball. And we should note that through 4 events, the Gladiators have been extremely tough. Only Greg Montgomery has been able to walk away with any points.
And Powerball is brought to you by the Nintendo Entertainment System. Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
And our match is underway, and Mike's first attempt rolls out. Greg Montgomery stepped out of bounds, so that goal right there will not count.
As Turbo cuts Greg's feet out from under him and slams him into the turf.
Mike with a little head fake against Thunder. He didn't buy that one.
Stay down, stay down. Stay down.
Mike trying to make a move against Nitro. He puts that one in. As Greg gets driven out of bounds again by Turbo.
Stay down now, stay down.
Now the guys are starting to run out of steam.
Greg lowers his shoulder into Nitro, gets his score. This is a very physical game.
When all else fails, you gotta go power against power. Turbo puts a punctuation mark on this Powerball match. Wow. One-one the final between Greg and Michael. Greg, for all those people watching at home and the people in the audience who say, hey, I can get by the Gladiators in Powerball, what's your answer?
It ain't easy. Definitely not easy. I thought I would try to give, I don't know, the big guy, one of them. Try to
Thunder, Turbo, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I thought I'd just try to run straight at him and give him a shot. That didn't work. Didn't work.
You did get one goal, and you got one as well. Michael, what was the hardest part for you?
2 of them. Looking me in the face. It was tough, nowhere to go.
They stared you down, you got a little intimidated?
Yeah, nowhere to run to, and it's pretty intimidating looking at them.
And after about 30 seconds were up, you didn't have much energy left in those legs.
They were around 400 pounds apiece. They felt like their legs look.
1-1 the final, and you earned both of those goals. Congratulations. Greg and Michael.
Greg's wife, Janice, has reason to smile as he holds on to his 10-point edge after 5 events. Deena has a slim margin over Mary as they prepare to go head-to-head with ice, lace, and diamond in women's Powerball.
And Larry, both of our contenders should offer the Gladiators a stern challenge. Both outstanding athletes. Mary excelled in softball and basketball in high school, while Deena has some rugby experience, which should help her here in this event.
Unlike most women, I'm used to being hit a lot. I've probably been tackled, and I've probably tackled more than most men ever have, even those that played college football. And it doesn't bother me. I'm not intimidated by the fact that I'm going to get hit, and I don't worry about it.
Deena Telley, a graduate from the School of Hard Knocks, and she is going to take some here.
Ready? No score.
Deena wastes no time putting a move on ice and nearly scores, knocked out of bounds.
Nice move there on Diamond, and she scores. Deena Telley, they both run into each other. They hadn't planned on that. Mary Stickleman manages to put one home.
Oh, Mary takes a shot from ice. She's got to have a little bit of a headache after that.
Larry, both of our contenders wearing protective headgear, but Mary had to really shake that one off, and she has that goal in the center cylinder with 2 points. 5 seconds to go, and she scores one more time. So a nice come-from-behind effort by Mary Stickleman.
A little adrenaline pumping there at the end. Played very well. Referee Larry Thompson making sure her head's clear. Mike?
Mary and Deena, that's as spirited an effort as I've seen in Powerball, women's Powerball. Mary, you're the winner 4-1. Deena, I thought that some of your rugby skills that you used at the University of Oklahoma paid off for you.
Yeah, I had a little bit of trouble. I kind of was expecting a double team, you know, just to get going, but they're real tough. They can play for me on our team anytime. They're really good.
Mary, you took a shot from ice. You had scored 1 goal to that point. I know you noticed you winced in pain, but you bit your lower lip and you got tough. You put one in the center, you put one in the outer, and that's what did it.
That's it.
Where did you get that grit and determination?
And my mama said small things are like dynamite when you let them loose. And that's what I try to do, is come back.
You exploded just like dynamite. Mary, congratulations. You too, Deena. Nicely done.
Lace, a lot of points scored out there today.
Yeah, these girls are quick, they're small, and they're agile, and they're scoring points on the Gladiators. But we had a good game. I enjoyed it. What do you think, girls?
Well, it was full of action. It was exciting to watch. Great competitive spirit, girls. Good luck the rest of the day.
And with a 4-1 win in Powerball, Mary now takes over the women's lead after 5 events. Still to come on the American Gladiators is the Eliminator. But the wall is up next. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where our contenders are set to climb the wall. Greg leads this men's preliminary round, an event where our contenders will climb side by side. The first man to reach the 32-foot summit will be awarded 10 points. At the same time, 2 gladiators will follow in pursuit.
You're good. You're good. Michael Altshuler, in this case, is going to have Thunder in pursuit of him, while Greg Montgomery is going to hear the footsteps of Nitro behind him.
Greg Montgomery in the red, Mike Altshuler in the blue.
Michael moving pretty well. Greg, on the other hand, having a little trouble getting started. Nitro's close, makes the jump, and misses.
Had Nitro's vertical leap been a little higher, he might have been able to reach Greg.
That leap by Nitro lit a flame under Greg. He's zooming up the wall now and is going to take the top just before Michael. Greg's going to walk with the points. Yes, baby.
You can't get any closer than this in the wall competition. 35 seconds for you to get up, Michael. 31 seconds for you, Greg. Have you ever apprehended anybody during your stint on the LAPD Internal Affairs vertically?
Well, you know, I've gone over some walls, through fences, been chased by dogs, and now I'm chased by Nitro.
Michael, your expression said it all.
Yeah, I didn't make it up during practice. I tried 5 times, and every day while I was out here, I was just studying the wall, and I would have preferred to win, but it's a great accomplishment to get up here and then to do it in 35 seconds. I'm thrilled.
All right, Greg and Michael.
Nice climb by both our men as Greg takes away some insurance points in his lead over Michael. Mary took over the lead from Deena in Powerball, and now she's going to try to hold on to that lead as they go up the wall. She's going to try to do that while climbing against Diamond. While Deena will face the same challenge from Gold.
Larry, neither of our contenders have had to scale the wall in competitive situation. They've practiced on it before, but this is an entirely different circumstance here.
Deena climbing very well. Mary having a few problems.
Diamond's got a hold of Mary's heel, and that'll be all for her.
Peter Pan time as they both come off the wall. Deena, on the other hand, maintaining the integrity of her climb and is going to get the 10 points.
Deena, happiness is making it to the top.
You bet.
36 seconds, that's awfully fast.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about the record after I got a little nervous about just making it up. So I'll concentrate on time next time.
Deena, you look like a real natural up here. Enjoy your ride down. Congratulations.
Deena being more afraid of going down than coming up. With a win on the wall, Deena takes away 10 points and reclaims her lead heading into the Eliminator. And that event is next when we return on American Gladiators.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where our contenders are standing by for our final event, the Eliminator. And it all starts right here. Our contenders will compete side by side and run up and against a treadmill. From there, it's across the 30-foot pit by means of this hand bike, a true test of upper body endurance. And then it's across this 30-foot balance beam that's only 6 inches wide, and the contenders must dodge those weighted blocking bags.
Then Mike gets a tough 20-foot climb up a cargo net and onto a zip line, where a fun ride carries our contenders across the entire length of the arena floor. Then it's decision time. Which lane to finish in, where a contender is confronted by 2 hurdles and possibly an awaiting gladiator right before the finish line. Coming in, Deena leads Mary by 9 points, meaning that Mary would have to win this event by 4.5 seconds to automatically advance. The women have 90 seconds to finish the eliminator, with each second left on the clock worth 2 points.
And remember, along the way, penalty points can be assessed if a contender is tripped up by one of the obstacles. Deena in the red, Mary in the blue. Mary gets the quick jump, but Deena is the first to the top. And getting that hand bike to move is tough, as Mary is finding out firsthand. And down she goes. Deena very steady on that balance beam. Hello there, blocking pad. Mary has regained her composure, but desperately needs to gain ground.
Deena doing a good job climbing up that cargo net, obviously having tired arms, and now the fun part, the long zip line ride.
Nice tuck, nice landing for Deena. Kind of walks over the hurdles, but she does pick the right corridor. She wins easily.
Oh.
Two very tired women.
Very great job. I know you had to overcome a little bit of a point deficiency going into the eliminator. You had to take some gambles here and there. Got a little slowed down on the bike, I think.
Yeah, that's not my favorite. I have a hard time cranking it.
You're a little out of breath, too. You were a competitor right down to the last moment. Good deal. We won't know about the quarterfinals in terms of your points until all the competition's over, but we certainly hope you make it and get to come back. Deena, you've just been bouncing around here, banging and bouncing into things all day, but you've certainly done a great job, and welcome to the quarterfinals.
Well, thank you. I like taking the hits, and I've had a great time today. I was like to say, Mary, she's great. We've been hanging around together, and I saw her when I got to that cargo net. I got hung up, and I knew she was right behind me, and I just had to keep going. I'm so glad to get through this.
We're looking forward to watching you in the quarterfinals. Good luck.
Thanks, Larry.
Good job, girl.
So one half of the equation is complete. Deena moves on. Now the question, how about our men? And in the preliminary round between Greg and Michael, Greg leads by 15 points, which means that Mike will have to beat Greg by 7.5 seconds to move on to the quarterfinals.
Michael in the blue, Greg in the red, as they get their concentration together, fixing to go up the belts.
And Larry, this is one event that we can safely say that Greg and Michael will not get shut out in. Boy, look at Greg Motor with that hand bike. Powerful upper body. Michael not doing too bad himself.
Cargo net's a tough climb after your arms are tired from the hand bike.
And it's not the steadiest thing in the world either.
Greg hits the zip line first. He's off, but only a short second ahead of Michael.
Representing the honor of the Los Angeles Police Department, Greg Montgomery down the straightaway, over the hurdles. Here he comes. Blowing past thunder. He'll cross the finish line first and advance to the quarterfinals.
Michael right on his heels. Close race.
Michael, you didn't win the eliminator. You gave it your best shot, like you said you would. But I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, you proved that businessmen belong in this competition if they have the right stuff physically, and you do, and you've got a lot of heart.
Yeah, I would have liked to have done a little better. You did a great job. This takes a lot out of you when you're working, and you have to get in the exercise, too. But I'm happy. I'm pleased with my performance.
You know, a lot of corporations send their employees out on these programs like Outward Bound. Would you recommend the American Gladiators for some of your employees?
No, disability insurance would be too high.
Michael, congratulations. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Greg, you finally do have something to riff about. Back to the guys at the station. You were worried early on, I know, because you got blanked in some of the earlier events, but you came back with a vengeance.
Hey, you know, I kind of dug down. Nitro hit me good times with that jousting stick, and it kind of woke me up, and I said, hey, they're not playing around. So I just kind of put my game face on, man, and I started trying to, you know, get some points, you know. The guys, they don't play. Believe me, you guys at home, you think this is easy? It's not easy, all right? I'm here to tell you it's not easy.
That game face very apparent at the end, and Thunder just shook his head. He said, that man just rolled me over.
You know, I tried to take on one of those guys in the Powerball. That was a mistake, and he stuck me good, and I just said, hey, this time I got a little bit of momentum. Just try and go for it, you know. If he holds me up, he holds me up, but hey, it's not gonna be easy.
Can you breathe a little easier now that, you know, some of your fellow officers aren't gonna give you the good-natured ribbing?
You know, they're gonna tease me at all, especially because I got blanked, and then they said, you know, you took those serious shots, you know, what's up? But hopefully I can kind of redeem myself. I got into some of my games with Powerball and running. I'm a track man. So finally that kind of paid off a little bit.
And the bottom line, of course, you're going on to the quarterfinals. Congratulations, Greg Montgomery.
So Greg Montgomery moves on to the quarterfinals with a final score. Greg scoring 49, Michael 30.
So hats off to our two new quarterfinalists, Greg Montgomery and Deena Telley. And here's a preview of some of the action you'll be seeing next week.
Next week, it's quarterfinal round action as 4 contenders move one step closer to becoming American Gladiators champions. Dana Duke, Greg Montgomery, Nina Akai, and Lance Duke. Watch as they challenge Ice, Gemini, Gold, Laser, and the rest of the American Gladiators.
That's it for this edition of the American Gladiators. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamle saying so long from Universal Studios Hollywood.